Hello and welcome back to Film Exaggeration. And this time we'll be looking, once again, at a movie I've already dealt with. Well, yes, I know, but unfortunately this is what Dark Shadow told me to do. But my original review was taken down due to copyright, and the audio was really bad in it. Plus now I have my suit. I don't get dressed up often. I just... piece of shit. Anyway, I've already erased my memory of this movie, so... American Hustle. Released in December 2013, American Hustle is the product of director David O. Russell, who co-wrote the film with Eric Warren Singer. Loosely based on the AppScan scandals of the late 70s and early 80s, the film was a huge critical success, receiving a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes and getting 10 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. However, it didn't win any of them thanks to competition from 12 Years a Slave and Gravity. It did, however, win several BAFTA awards including Best Original Screenplay and the Golden Globe for Best Motion Picture for Musical or Comedy. The film is labeled as a crime comedic drama, with high praise going to the acting, directing, editing, writing, music, and even the hair and makeup. So, let's see if American Hustle deserved the praise that it got. So the movie starts, as most Oscar movies do, with a text screen. Now that's funny. We begin in April 1978 in the Plaza Hotel, where we meet con artist Irving Rosenfeld, played by Christian Bale. As you can see, he's quite out of shape and has a really bad comb-over. Doesn't really have anything to do with the plot, but it is supposed to make you laugh because bald, fat people are hilarious. He's partners with Sidney Prosser, played by Amy Adams. And also with them is FBI agent Richie DeMasso, played by Bradley Cooper.
I got you a suite at the fucking Plaza Hotel.
It's shittiest suite at the
What?
Plaza Hotel. The shittiest fucking suite. And the
Based
food
on what?
is wrong. And what is
food?
this? What is
What
it?
is
You
what?
got like one in my closet or something?
No.
Are you dressing him like you dress me?
No, what are you thinking? This isn't all about
What, did you
know
try to
that,
dress
right?
me so I would look like
No,
him?
you're not dressed like him.
Oh no. They begin to walk down the hallway in slow motion as the credits roll. Alright, people walking down the hallway is not interesting, especially when we know nothing about them and why they are there. Yeah, the song's nice, but you can switch it out for anything.
I'm so fancy. You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo.
So it turns out the three are there to have an interview with Carmine Polito, played by Jeremy Renner. But when they try to give him a briefcase, he leaves.
Look, you have no choice. You have to go get him. Now go get him so he takes the briefcase by himself. That's the whole plan, Irving.
No, I gotta go mop up your mess. I'm gonna go fucking mop up your mess.
What the hell is happening? The movie's only been on for 5 minutes and already I have no idea what's going on. Now the movie decides to pay homage to Goodfellas by having Irving tell us his backstory through narration.
I would rather be on the taking side than the getting taken side any day of the week, especially after I saw how my father got taken. I mean, seeing that scarred me for life.
Really? You couldn't look less interested. So Irving grew up breaking people's windows so they would buy his. And even though he is now an adult, he is still conning people out of money. In most movies, that would make him extremely unlikable. But remember, Irving lost his father at a young age, so it's totally justified despite the backstory being incredibly rushed and having no connection between the characters. He then tells us about the time he met Sydney at a pool party.
Is that the skeleton on your bracelet?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. He died this year, you know?
I know. I doubt anyone else here knows or cares about it.
Well, I care about it. He saved my life many times.
Ah, the chemistry just spills off the screen, doesn't it?
He wasn't necessarily in good shape, and he had this comb-over that was rather elaborate. He had this air about him, and he had this confidence that drew me to him.
Gotta love when a movie just tells us two people are in love instead of just showing us.
Like me, she'd come from a place where her options were limited.
It actually can feel kind of sexy sometimes.
Alright, who's the narrator here, and why are these two just telling us random shit that the movie could just explain to us? It's almost 2.5 hours long, the movie doesn't have to just explain everything. Oh right, we gotta do it because Goodfellas did it. The two tell us Sydney's backstory now, and to cut a long story short, she comes to New York, meets Irving, and they begin to hit it off. After a little while, Irving decides to tell Sydney what he does outside of glass selling and dry cleaning.
I help get loans for guys who can't get loans. You know, I'm their last resort.
Thanks, kid, but how do you get them the money? You don't.
These guys are lousy risks. You know, I can't get them alone, but I get my fee, $5,000.
You take 5,000, you don't give them anything.
Right? These are bad guys. You know, they got bad divorces, gambling habits, embezzling, all that shit.
So if I get this straight, you steal $5,000 from dangerous criminals, promising them $50,000 in exchange, and then don't give it to them. How the hell are you still living? Irving offers Sydney a chance to join him in his loan shark scam operation, and at first it seems like she declines. But that's just to create padding as she comes back in and agrees to do it, even taking on the alias of British woman named Lady Edith Greensley.
Hold on.
He told me to tell my friends I had London banking connections. It was almost scary how easy it could be to take money from desperate people.
Wait, I thought you only scammed crooks. Isn't that the only reason you agreed to do it in the first place? And then they have sex. Oh, did I forget to mention Irving's still married? It's okay, the movie didn't either. And he even has a son named Danny. But he's only Irving's adopted son. He's actually the son of Irving's current wife, Rosalind. I hate this woman. Rosalind may be one of the most despicable, loathsome, evil, vile pieces of human filth I have seen in a movie. And Jennifer Lawrence pulls this off perfectly. Want to know how bad she is? Before we even meet her, we learn she is an alcoholic and gives absolutely no shits about her son's safety, as she is not only late picking him up and lets him get bullied, but she set fire to a sun lamp and nearly burned down their house. She's a terrible mother, a terrible wife, and just all around a terrible person.
Stop with the whole fire thing. God, it was a mistake. I'm sure a million people do that all the time. Those sun lamps are dangerous. Shouldn't even have them in the house, really.
You are a horrible person.
This could very well be one of the best villains. I mean, Irving wants to divorce her, reasonable since both of them seem to be unhappy, but Rosalind doesn't waste any time in threatening to take Danny and turn Irving in. Now, granted, I don't like Irving either, but that's just cruel.
We fight and we fuck, and that's what we do. That's our thing.
Irving and Sydney try to scam, hey, it's Tommaso from earlier. So, obviously the scene isn't going to end well for them. He's gonna find out about them, right?
Stick around for a little bit.
Of course, that was totally worth the 2 minutes of pointless banter.
I see something in you, Irving. I get very excited. I think that we have a lot of potential here. Irving, you're very skilled, and I want you to teach me, and we can do this. I want 4 people to do what you do. Fraudulent investments, fake certificates of deposit, stolen art, fake art. You get me 4 people, and you're off the hook.
Alright, so they teamed up to catch criminals, and that's why they were in that interview with Carmine in the beginning. Well then, why didn't you just start the movie out with the backstory? It doesn't change the plot in any way, it just makes it more confusing and takes away the tension of that earlier scene. Sydney doesn't want to do it due to the high risk. You became a con artist at the drop of a dime, before bust to clear your name, and now you're scared? Even worse, due to Richard telling her that Irving was just using her, now she has a hard time trusting him.
I'm gonna do these 4 busts, these 4 cons, and I'm gonna get really close with Richie, the cop, in case we need to use him, if we need another move.
We don't need another move.
So I want to believe that we were real.
We are real.
And I want to believe that a man could want me. And I'm going to take all of that heartbreak and all of that sorrow, and I am going to use it. And I'm going to make Richie think that I want him and that I like him. Maybe I do like him.
So is this more of her trickery, or is she really that stupid to trust the FBI agent who arrested her and not the man she had sex with? Whatever, the 3 decide to use an Arabic sheik to pose as a potential client, but he is actually Irving's friend Al from Queens.
I do aluminum siding and roofing.
Thanks for sharing. But that has to wait, as we now have to set up more plot points and we learn about Carmine Polito.
Who's Carmine Polito?
Carmine Polito was the most quietly powerful person in the state of New Jersey. A lifetime native of the very racially mixed Camden, which had become a ghetto, and where he had been mayor for 10 years.
Well, thanks for finally telling us about him. Would have been nice to know that earlier, but hey, better late than never. Also, Carmine, the politician's last name, is Polito. Subtle.
They even adopted some other kid, a black kid from the Boys and Girls Club who lost his family. I mean, his household was a joyous place. I mean, everyone loved this guy.
Holy shit, this guy's awesome! So, what happens? Does he come in to try and help them, and throughout the movie try to teach them to be better people? What?
But he couldn't get the funds to rebuild Atlantic City. And that was his problem. So with our help, he was about to have his hand in the wrong pocket at the wrong time. And to me, that meant corrupt.
No, I'm still going with this other guy. At least he's trying to help people. I would rather go with the thief who wants to help people rather than the thieves who only want to help themselves. Richie's boss, named Stoddard, is skeptical of the idea, but Richie assures him that if they put $2 million of taxpayer money into the fake Sheets account, then Carmine will fall for it.
Let me tell you a story about me and my dad and my brother. We used to go ice fishing every November. One year, my brother says, let's go in October. He wants to go ice fishing in October. My dad says, no, the ice is too thin.
I understand what's happening. You say your brother went out on the ice was too thin, he fell through the ice, he went in the water because he was too eager, and you're saying I'm too eager. That's what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
You know, we'll finish the ice story another time, young man.
Yes, we must make sure the audience is wondering about the end of that ice fishing story so they get really confused about the rest of the plot and think we're really smart. Since Stoddard won't go for it, Sidney persuades his secretary to legally put in $2 million, and when Stoddard's boss hears of the plan, he loves it and tells him to continue. We finally get caught up with where we were at the beginning. Again, we could have just started with the backstory and nothing would have changed. Irving tries to persuade Carmine to join them, and he agrees to do business, but only with Irving. This pisses off Richie, who wants to use Carmine to bring down other politicians. Realizing that's incredibly dangerous, Irving shoots him down. Later that night, we see Richie at home.
Richard, don't eat in the bathroom. I told you so many times. Richard, the filter is broken in the fish tank. It's a problem.
So your job is to do the filter, Mom. Mine's to do the grub.
This scene is just trying way too hard to be funny. Sidney calls up Richie, who is trying to hook up with her despite having a fiancé, and the two decide to meet up. Meanwhile, Carmine and his wife meet up with Irving and Rosalind.
The mega bitch!
Rosalind instantly hits it off with the others, which goes against what she said earlier.
You know that I get anxiety when I have to meet people.
And then we cut to Richie and Sidney as they fill up a couple minutes dancing and trying to fuck in the bathroom stall. You people are all assholes. Oh, Jeremy Renner, why aren't you the main character?
We dream and we build. We never give up. We never quit.
Seriously, I want to see a movie about this guy. I mean, not only is he more likable, he's a lot more fun and energetic than the other characters, which I thought was the point of this comedy. This guy is so nice that he even buys Irving a microwave. If this movie doesn't end with Carmine becoming president, I'm going to be very, very disappointed.
Wait, so tell me the rest of the ice fishing story.
Nah, gotta bring back that ice fishing story. Gotta remind the audience that they're not supposed to be thinking about that pesky plot.
Oh, so you tried to protect your brother, but you couldn't. What? And that's why you feel bad because you're trying to protect me and you're worried about me. Is that what the story's about? It's about protection.
No, it's not about protection.
It's not?
No.
All right, fine.
Ooh, I can't wait to see how the story ends.
Don't put metal in the science of them, Ross. Don't put metal in the science of them.
Oh, speaking of, Sean, do whatever I want. Oh! No, Danny, not that one. That one's empty. We gotta use the big one.
Rosalind, you will die one day, and I'll laugh. The day comes for Carmine to meet the Sheik, but Richie has replaced Irving's friend Al with a Mexican FBI agent. At first, it seems to go off without a hitch, but then that night, Carmine invites them all to a casino party where we learn of a group of mobsters that they need to talk to, but none of them are brave enough to do it.
Those are the guys that you guys are all scared of? Those guys over there? They don't scare me. You know that I get anxiety when I have to meet people.
You are a liar! She eventually does get them in with mobster Victor Taligio, played by Robert De Niro. We get a few more minutes of filler before Taligio starts speaking in Arabic, which the FBI agent unfortunately doesn't know.
I think what is,
Let him speak for himself.
Oh, thank God. The character we've never met before saved the day, and thankfully Taligio doesn't ask again. Phew, that was a close one. He is suspicious, however, and asks for a $10 million transfer to prove he is legitimate. Then we get lesbians. Wait, what?
Oh, I'm gross inside? Maybe you're gross inside with robbing people and all that shit that you do. Maybe we're both gross inside. That's what Irving loves about us. At least he's consistent. You know, sometimes in life, all you have are fucked up, poisonous choices.
You know, I think I finally get why these characters are pissing me off. They all feel forced. None of them come off as genuine. In a much better movie like Birdman, a lot of the characters are assholes, but they felt real. Same with something like Nightcrawler, Wolf of Wall Street, or even the Blair Witch Project. Here, the characters seem like they are acting this way just so the plot can move forward. They don't feel like real people, and because of this, there's no emotion to feel for them. Oh, Rosalind's sad? Don't care. Richie tries to get a floor booked at the plaza for the operation, but Stoddard says no. This pisses him off, so he asks Sydney to have sex with him. But she then drops her English accent and, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that he actually thought she was named Edith this whole time because there was so much other shit to cover. But she tells him the truth, and of course this pisses him off even more. Irving tries to get out of the scam, but Richie tells them that if they back out now, Talicia will kill both of them, Rosalind and Danny. And yet I'm supposed to care. Richie tries to get the floor at the plaza again, but Stoddard again says no. So Richie does the sensible thing and goes to his office and beats the shit out of him. And then he was fired. And arrested. No, of course not. This is a Russell land. In this world, you can beat the shit out of your boss, and not only will you not get fired or thrown in prison, but you will get exactly what you want. You know, of all the characters, this guy, Amato, is probably the worst. He's the one allowing all this to happen, and I bet you $1 million he doesn't get any kind of comeuppance. So we get a few more minutes of confusing plot points that I guess get several politicians in trouble, but who cares? Let's bitch about Rosalind some more. She's having an affair with a guy named Pete, a mobster she met at the party.
He thinks that I'm stupid, but I'm not stupid. I hear him on the phone arguing. He loves Carmine, but he hates that other guy, that curly-headed IRS guy.
Well, you said IRS.
And so Irv and Carmine right now are at the Plaza Hotel, like, throwing all this money away at, like, Congress or whatever. They're giving money to Congress or something. I don't really know, but I overheard it on the phone.
You are literally too stupid to live. The fact that you are alive pretty much disproves the theory of natural selection. Of course, this goes exactly like you'd expect. They put a bag over Irving's head and threaten to kill him. They don't because... I don't know. And finally, after over an hour and a half of taking this woman's bullshit, he finally gives her what she deserves.
He put a fucking canvas bag over my head! Are you happy now? Because he is trying to kill me!
What are you talking about?
You trying to get me fucking killed? I'm a sick son of a bitch. Oh my god! You trying to be so crazy. What are you doing? Your boyfriend, your fucking boyfriend will kill me, he will kill Danny, and he'll kill you.
Yes, you tell her, Irving. If this scene wasn't too long, I might actually put it in my Christmas tradition lineup.
Stop, all right, fine. Yes, I wanted to hurt you, but how do you think that I feel all day when you leave me alone? All day, and all I've ever wanted you to do is love me. That's all I've ever wanted.
What? No. No. You had one of the best movie assholes going for you, and now you're trying to make me sympathize with her? Sorry, that isn't going to happen. She nearly gets her son killed on a regular basis, she yells and belittles people, threatens her husband, thinks she's better than everyone else, and nearly got her husband, son, and herself killed due to either jealousy or incomprehensible stupidity. There is no compassion in this woman. She is the vile spawn of Satan and a danger to everyone around her. And if you hadn't made me try to sympathize with her, I might have actually been able to respect that. But now, I just don't even care.
All day, and all I've ever wanted you to do is love me.
You are a bitch!
You hit that? He's the most dangerous guy ever.
What would you expect, Irving? I know everybody through you.
Here's an idea. Go out and make some friends. You're clearly not some super introvert who's afraid of interacting with people she's never met before. You had your chance. Don't blame anyone but yourself.
I can save all of us.
I knew it. I have always said, Irving, that you are very, very hard to motivate properly. And I knew that Pete was gonna go over there and knock some sense into your head.
Oh my god, can you give me one reason to like her? Not good enough. Well, she does at least agree to get a divorce, so I guess that's something. The three meet with Talicio's lawyer, who confesses to scamming. I'm happy. Look at me, audience. I'm totally fucking excited right now. Give me an Oscar. This next part is honestly really depressing. Irving goes to Carmine's house and tells him about the scam and that he will probably be going to jail.
I'm a good person. You're a good person. Do you think I would have taken that money if it wasn't the right thing to do? Huh? You made me go back to the plaza to take that money, you piece of shit! I was gone!
So you got who is apparently the only decent person in the city arrested just so your kinda sorta girlfriend wouldn't go to prison. And may I remind you, it was you who convinced her to become a con artist in the first place, so literally everything is your fault. This scene is really freaking sad. The entire family starts crying and you just want to hug them and hope they don't lose their home now that the one who brought home most of the money is going to jail. So it turns out the $2 million that they transferred to Taligio's account is missing. However, they did get an anonymous message saying they will get it back if Irving and Sydney gets immunity and Carmine gets a reduced sentence.
Fuck them. Fuck them. It's over. We got them for wire fraud. It's over. You're done. You're both done.
You requested the $2 million, and you gave Brenda the account number.
No.
We didn't do any of that. None of it. How do we know that you don't have the money?
I have a warrant for...
I'm sorry, do I have the wrong office?
My name is Roger Thigpen. I've had this office for 25 years. I'm a divorce attorney.
Yep, it turns out Irving and Sydney hustled Richie by staging a fake meeting with Taligio's lawyer. And I have to admit, that was a pretty good twist. Good job, movie.
People believe what they want to believe, Richie.
No, because you conned me.
Really? That's the story you want to go with?
Actually, that's a pretty good story to go with. After all, at least one of them is a convicted con artist, and at least a few people they scammed at the beginning would be more than willing to testify. Seriously, why aren't these people in jail?
We gave the $2 million back, so Carmine got the reduced sentence.
Yeah, not good enough.
And when the story was written, Richard Damaso's name was never mentioned.
You know, I should be happy he's getting his comeuppance, but I don't think the movie's punishing him because he beat the shit out of his boss, or that he's just a great big asshole. I think the movie's punishing him because he arrested Sydney. The movie is punishing an FBI agent for arresting a con artist. What the fuck kind of morality does this movie run on? You are all terrible people, and I hope you all die of AIDS! Except you, Rosalind. You get diet AIDS. Anyway, Irving and Sydney move in together after agreeing to stop conning people. Now, they didn't realize that was wrong, they just thought it would be too risky. Rosalind breaks her neck in a car accident, meaning she learned absolutely nothing. And I just realized, she had no purpose in this movie. Think about it, the only two things she contributed to the main plot were that she got them in to see Taligio and told Pete who they really were. You could completely write her out if you had Sydney get them into the meeting and Taligio sent spies after them after the fake Sheik disaster. That would actually fix some of your problems. Pete and Rosalind begin dating, which must be really awkward, and she even begins to share custody of Danny with Irving. Poor bastard. He has to grow up moving between these two couples? I'm guessing he's either going to grow up to become a serial killer or commit suicide. A tragedy, that. Oh, and apparently Taligio is off the hook. So let's look at what we have for our ending. A mobster who kills people on a limb is free, several politicians who only wanted to help the people who elected them are put in jail, a family are most likely going to become homeless since their father is in prison, a complete asshole who has no idea how morality works is a huge member of the FBI, and Irving and Sydney are most likely going to be killed by the mentally unstable Richie at some point in the future. Comedy of the year!
We got a loan from a bank and were able to go gallery legitimate. The art of survival is a story that never ends.
Seriously, how are you two not in prison? So, wait, what was the ending of that ice fishing story? Well, it isn't answered in the movie, however Louis C.K. did answer it on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. His brother shits on the ice. Was it worth it? You know, if they had actually put that in the movie, it may not have been that funny, but at least it would have completed the joke. Newsflash, movies like Pulp Fiction and Inception were not memorable because they made us wonder about certain plot points. So is American Hustle as good as people said it was? No. But you know what? Maybe I'm just not smart enough to get this movie. Maybe the screenplay was so tight and so well constructed that I'm just not smart enough to get. Oh, so they just made shit up as they went along. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, let's start off with the positives. By far, the best thing about this movie are the performances. Every actor gives it their all and deserves all awards they receive. The look of the movie is very fitting to the tone and time period of which the film is set, although because of this it is very boring to look at a lot of the time. The visuals and soundtrack are great, and I give them credit for trying to cram 3 different genres into one movie. But that's actually its biggest problem. They don't mesh well. At all. The crime parts make the characters too unlikable to sympathize with, so it fails as a drama. The dramatic parts try to make us feel bad for laughing at the characters, so it kills the comedy. And the comedy makes the plot too ridiculous to take seriously, so the crime part doesn't work. The plot is confusing and overly complicated with large amounts of filler due to the ad-libbing. It's way too long. As I said, you probably could have cut out most, if not all, of Jennifer Lawrence's scenes, and the almost sluggish direction make this a chore to sit through. It's an acting exercise, that's really all it is. And if you loved watching it, good for you, but I don't see myself watching it again. Of course I said that before. So, Mr. Shadow, what do you have for me next time?
Oh, don't worry. The next one is a very special movie I have.
Rapunzel.
Fucking what?
Have fun.